I know a lot of you guys have a lot of rubber baits you're using nowadays, and you get an aggressive fish and it takes care of those things like nothing. Today I'm going to try to show how to repair even severely damaged rubber baits, and we'll see if I can make this work so you guys can see it. Take a regular old butter knife, just like this. This one is severely damaged. It's broken off right at the connection point here where the internal wiring is. I'm going to see if I can get that wire heated up and then push these together and then sort of glue it back together from there. So we'll see if I can do this without burning my fingers. So I just kind of pushed it together. See if that'll fuse back. That's just to kind of get it started. Alright, so what you do is you take some old rubber tails from maybe one of your bass fishing buddies or whatever, and you use that in conjunction with the rubber that's on here, and you kind of add this to heat up the knife. You just kind of hold it over the flame like I'm doing here. This is an old butter knife I've used many times. So you take a little piece of rubber and lay it into the connection spot there, and what you're going to end up doing is melting it right into the crack. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be functional. And you do end up having to reheat this knife probably many times before it's all done. And you just kind of set it right in there, and it ends up melting the rubber, and you kind of reform it and back the way it should be. And you can tell if you need more material, you just drop some more in there, melt some more in. This one definitely takes a bunch of time, just because of the severity of the injury to the Super D. This technique works for just about every kind of rubber bait that's out there, including Bull Dawgs, Super Ds, Big Joes, and what else I got here? Medusas will work on there too. And it even works on homemade stuff. So you work on one side at a time, whatever side you can see. That's where you do your repair job. And you can actually shove that blade right down inside the rubber, and you're melting it and helping to bond all of it right back together. Once you got one side completed, this stuff, it's still pretty hot, but you flip it over to the other side and then repeat the process over there. This side is pretty well cracked. I don't know if you can see this very well from here, but it's pretty well cracked up, but it is healing up pretty well. Just lay that rubber right on top. Doesn't have to exactly match. It isn't a beauty contest. But it's important to have that knife as hot as you can get it to get that to melt really well. And just turns right into liquid, and it seals right into those holes and mends itself right back up. What is it?
Where are you?
Downstairs.
Oh.
Seems to be fusing together very well. I just take another little piece of plastic, piece of rubber. This time I'm using black.
Need this. Well, there's a...
Again, you want to penetrate this as deep as you can to make sure it's not just a surface mend. And sometimes the whole thing will start on fire. That's all right. Just make sure your smoke detector is all right. See how this is looking. All right. I don't know if you can see this. There's some big cracks right there. Those are actually pretty easy to take care of. I'll show you how to do that right now. Hardest part is getting the Bull Dawg or your lure to sit upright. In this case, I'm going to go with the orange. This can get pretty smelly, so one of the things you might want to consider doing is making sure your wife is out of the house when you're doing it. Just lay a chunk of rubber right in the crack. Get your butter knife nice and hot. Need some more on the surface there. You just get a little bit more rubber. Lay it right on there. And get it to start melting. These surface cracks, you just go stick your hot knife right deep inside there. Might not be pretty, but you just keep working at it and you'll get it just like you want it. There. That one's pretty well mended. Get a little bit of a black stuff on there, you just kind of wipe it away. And here's the finished product. You can even see me stretching it out a little bit. Looks like she's holding pretty good. You can look real close at that connection spot right there. It looks like there's no cracks. So it's all mended back up. And those cracks that were in the middle there, they're all gone too. So hopefully this will produce a few more muskies this summer for my brother.